Are Tucson home prices going to drop in 2024? In this video, I'm going to talk about some key indicators as to whether or not home prices are going to go down, sideways, or up in 2024. Hello, my name's Tyler Ford, Tucson, Arizona with eXp Realty, and welcome to another episode of Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection. And in this video, I'm going to talk about home prices here in Tucson 2024. And I get this question all the time, is when are we going to see a pullback in home prices? And I used to be in the camp that we were going to see a significant pullback, and I no longer believe that, and I'll explain why in this video. But the big question is, are home values going to go down, sideways, or up in 2024? And again, I'm going to go over some key indicators to pay attention to. And if you hang out towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you a place that you can go in order to look at those key indicators that are updated on a daily basis in order to be ahead of the curve as far as what's going on here in Tucson as far as home values. The first key indicator I want to talk about is one that I talk about each and every month when I do my Tucson housing market update. It's my favorite indicator, and I believe the leading indicator, Economics 101, supply and demand, and that is home inventory. And pre-COVID, home values were appreciating at a normal rate, anywhere from 6 to maybe 8%. COVID hit. We saw a huge reduction in inventory. We saw a big spike in demand. As a result, we saw double-digit appreciation for 2 years. And in 2023, it was the first year since COVID that we didn't see double-digit appreciation and the market went sideways. We were slightly positive, a little over 2% appreciation for 2023. So again, home values in 2023 went sideways, but everybody was thinking that we were going to see a big pullback based on interest rates. The Feds got super aggressive, and it was the biggest, most aggressive Fed rate hike in the history of the Feds. And rates went from the low twos all the way up to 7.5% in the shortest period of time in the history of the U.S. But what didn't happen is home values didn't pull back. And the big reason is inventory levels didn't go up. So again, home inventory level is the key indicator. It's something to pay attention to. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you where to go where you can look at it on a daily basis. So unless we see a huge spike in inventory, more than double than what we have now. Right now, we have a little less than about 2,000 active listings in the MLS. And back in 07-08, there were over 12,000 active listings. And as a result, the market pulled back by more than 50%. So again, unless home inventory levels were more, if they were to double, we'd be kind of at an equilibrium. So home inventories would have to significantly go up for us, in my opinion, to see a huge pullback in price. The second thing to pay attention to is interest rates. And so we're off the highs. We're sitting about 6.5%, off the highs of about 7.5%. And so depending on what the Feds do has a huge impact on home values. And being an election year, I don't anticipate that the Feds are going to be super aggressive and raise rates. I think rates are kind of go sideways. But the one thing that could happen is if the Feds were to lower rates, it could cause upward pressure on home prices. So a lot of people are calling for the Feds to lower rates, which is a good thing. If homes go down or sideways, people's payments get a lot more affordable, and the affordability index gets a whole lot better. But lowering rates could be the detriment to home values maintaining or even going down. Lowering rates, in my opinion, would cause more buyer demand, and as a result, put upward pressure on price. So again, just something to pay attention to. We're sitting at 6.5% on a 30-year fix. So interest rates, again, have a big play in terms of this market and what happens in the real estate industry. And another thing to consider, in 2023, in the history of the U.S., it was the least amount of sales volume that we've ever had in Tucson and across the country. And it had everything to do with interest rates, and it had everything to do with lack of inventory. So again, just pay attention to rates. So rates, inventory, in my opinion, those are the two big drivers of home values and two things to pay attention to. The next thing I want to talk about is not something that you hear and it's not something that people talk about, and that is institutional buyers in our market. Institutional buyers, they come in and they buy single-family homes in huge quantities. And pre-COVID and during COVID, the big institutions were buying single-family homes, and when that happens, they take those homes off the market and they don't circulate back into the market. And in my opinion, it's the big reason as to why inventory levels are so low. Because if you think about it, the average person stays in a home for about 5 years. And after the 5 years, they then sell the home and it recirculates back into the inventory. But what's happened over since the meltdown, institutional buyers have been buying huge amounts of single-family homes, keeping them in their rental portfolio, and they don't circulate back into the market. So everybody talks about this inventory shortage, but I think the big culprit and the big cause to inventory is the institutional buyers. So if there was a reason that the institutional buyers would to flood the market with their listings, that could cause home values to go down. But I'm not seeing it. Just read a big article about BlackRock just bought another 30,000 homes across the country just recently to add them to their rental portfolio. And so what does that do? It takes the home off the market. And so somebody that wants to live in a home has less inventory to choose from. And as a result, it puts upward pressure on prices. So again, in my opinion, one of the huge reasons that you just don't hear people talk about is the institutional buyers that are buying up single-family homes, taking them off the market, which then reduces the amount of inventory that ends up back in the market, driving prices up. So again, unfortunately, it is what it is. And, they've got a ton of money behind them and they have no intention of selling those homes anytime soon. But if there was a catalyst where they had to fire sell and unload a lot of them, it would cause home values to dramatically drop. But again, I'm just not seeing that. The last thing I want to talk about is not something that we want to happen, but it could happen. And that is some type of black swan event that would not be good for the market or even the global economy. And it's just something that we can't foresee, but it's something that could happen. And if that were to happen, it's kind of like what happened in 07, 08. It was a black swan event that smart money saw it coming. And that was, institutions, banks, and Wall Street. If you could fog a mirror, you could get a mortgage. And there was a lot of bad paper. And as a result, people walked away from their homes in groves. And as a result, those properties went back to the bank. There was a ton of inventory, which dramatically reduced price. So in my opinion, that type of black swan event compared to something else that could happen, whether it's a war or another type of pandemic, is better compared to the alternative. So black swan event can cause that. It's not something that we wish for, and it's not something that you prepare for, but it's one thing that could cause home values to go down. Now I'm going to show you where you can go in order to look at certain numbers, specifically home inventory. And in 2024, TAR, the Tucson Association of Realtors, has teamed up with a new partner in order to provide the market report. So the reports that you've been used to, if you've been following my market update reports, are going to change slightly. But there's a link that I'm going to show you, and I'll put it in the show notes here, where you can go look at the various things, and it's updated on a daily basis. So the positive to this change is you can get this market data in real time, where the previous information that we would get, we'd have to wait until the end of the month for that information to come out. So it's all real time. So I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you where you can go. But again, if you go in the show notes, I'm going to link it up as to where you can track the median home price. You can track inventory. So just a lot of really good key indicators to pay attention to, especially if you're a buyer or seller and just want to stay ahead of the curve and do your own research as far as the Tucson housing market. And again, I'm going to link this up so you know where to go. So if you click on the link in the show notes, what you want to do is you want to go to Market Reports. And when you click on Market Reports, it's going to pull up a report, but then you got to go in and play around with it because it has everything. This map right here, Southern Arizona. So it's the entire Southern Arizona MLS. So what you want to do is you want to click on City, uncheck, and then just click on Tucson. And as a result, if you go to, I'm going to go to inventory levels, and Tucson right now, there's 1,664 active listings. So again, this number would more than need to double to have a huge impact on home values, in my opinion. The other thing you can do is by type. So just single family homes here in Tucson, there are only 1,326 in all of Pima County. So again, there's a lot of cool things that you can do. You can look at the median home sales price for single family homes right now is $359. I still have single family checked, and then I've got Tucson checked as well. But you can get really specific. Let's say you're wanting to buy in Vail, Sarita. You can get really specific in terms of a lot of really good information that will give you some insight, whether you're a buyer or a seller, and what's going on here with the Tucson housing market. So what's your prediction for 2024? Is this market going to go down, sideways, or up? Go ahead and comment below. Love to get your thoughts in terms of what home values are going to do here in Tucson. But my opinion is I think it's going to be flat to maybe slightly upward pressure on home prices, depending on what the feds do with rates. But if the feds lower rates or go sideways and inventory stays about the same, I think home values in terms of appreciation, we're gonna finish positive for 2024, and we're not gonna see a big pullback that everybody's thinking or wishing for. So that's my take. And again, love to hear your thoughts in terms of what's gonna go on in 2024 for Tucson home prices. Hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got value out of this video, do me a huge favor. Give me an internet high five by liking it. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and comment below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection, you can subscribe to the channel. And if you hit the bell button each and every time a video comes out, you're going to be notified. In the meantime, make it a great day.
Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's why you need a local Tucson expert real estate partner. With all the exciting reasons you have for buying a home, one of the biggest reasons is it can dramatically increase your family's wealth. So whether you're looking to purchase your first home, your next home, a second home, an investment property, or maybe you want to sell your home, choosing an experienced real estate expert to help you will make it a smooth and easy process. And choosing the right realtor can make the difference of more money in your pocket after closing. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, or maybe just interested in knowing what your home's worth, contact Tyler Ford and Team today. Call Tyler Ford and Team today at 520-775-3400. That's 520-775-3400.